Welcome back for this kind of final overview of the Mechwarrior 5 campaign. I had a sound problem or a microphone problem in the last video, which turned out that didn't have any commentary. And I had a little bit of a outro on the end of that video kind of explaining the mechs and the missions, the weapons that I used. So I figured I'd come back and just do this final video and kind of go over some of my favorite mechs and the weapons I used. I want to say I enjoyed the playthrough of the campaign. The Heroes of the Inner Sphere campaign was missions were also very fun. It was only really a couple of missions that gave me any trouble. The rest of them were pretty straightforward. But for battle mechs, the Steiner Scout Lance was really fun to play. Very early on, I had great success with the the Vulcan. Had 5 medium laser short burst weapons on there, and it was heat neutral, so it's very easy to kind of run around and kill all those light mechs very easily. And then as soon as I could, I grabbed that, or I could find one, I grabbed that Hunchback 4P. These are absolutely beasts of mechs, very kind of early to the mid game, where you're facing mostly mediums and lights. They have so much armor, and really I think I fielded like a full lance of these. I had one with, or 2 of them with an AC-20 in it, and 2 4Ps, all with medium lasers or medium laser short burst in there. Then I want to talk a little bit about the medium laser short burst very early on, being able to fire them fast. They just decimated anything that I came across with those short burst weapons. Then somewhere around mid game or somewhat, I got that Wolverine, and the Wolverine hero mech was an absolute beast. Had good speed, could outmaneuver people, put an AC-10 on it, had some medium lasers and a couple of SRM-6s, and it just shredded everything I came across. I had a lot of fun with that mech. We also ran a bunch of Shadowhawks too. I believe I ran a few times the Rifleman. Rifleman was fun to use, especially the hero one. Don't recall, but I think I may have had 2 like AC-10s on there. I think they had a bigger medium ballistic slots on this hero. That was a fun mech. I never got a chance to run the normal Crab nor the Mad 3R. One of my favorite mechs, of course, was the Mad 4A with 3 PPCs. And speaking of the PPCs, I had 3 ER PPCs in there as well, but the ER PPCs generate more heat for that extra range. And quite frankly, with the way the missions are, when you come up to a base and sometimes the stuff doesn't spawn until you get within a certain range, you really don't need the ER PPCs. Matter of fact, most of the ER weapons would, because of the extra heat and the way the maps work, just didn't seem necessary. I had a lot of fun with this RS after I changed out its 2 PPCs for 2 large pulse lasers. I think it feels much better with 2 large pulse lasers and the medium rifle and the LRMs. That was very fun. I never ran the KR myself, just too many weapon points. That they have a bind for the short burst lasers, a bind for the PPCs, a bind for the LRM, and the bind for the heavy rifle. As you can see in most of the mechs I ran, it was usually 1, 2, or 3 weapon binds. The King Crab with 4 heavy rifles was an absolute monster of a mech. I had fun with that one as well. I never got a chance to try any of the chemical lasers because they required ammo. Just never felt the need to do it. As far as like weapons, I ran a bunch of AC-10s, a bunch of AC-10 burst fire, especially early on. Ran a lot of medium rifles. I didn't run the Gauss too much. The medium rifles are actually less tonnage and do higher damage, but of course they have a longer firing cycle. But because of that, I could fit them into builds a lot easier. I haven't ran any of the ER large laser short bursts or ER large lasers. I may have run 1 ER large laser like once. And if I take a look at one of these, go into their loadouts. But yeah, I had some ballistics. Still have a few AC-10 tier 5s left. Did those AC-10 burst fire, ran some AC-20s. I think I ran some AC2s early on, but later in the game they really weren't necessary. I don't know that I ran too many AC5s. The LBX-10 solid slugs are pinpoint weapons. They are very good. I had a good success with those. I had those on a couple mechs. I don't think I ever ran machine guns. And I never got a chance to run the UAC-5, so maybe in another playthrough I'll kind of play around with some extra weapons. For lasers, I hit a laser slot. Never got to run a tag. I thought it might be fun. Put that on my mech maybe, and just have the AI launch all the LRMs. Never ran any flamers. Didn't get a chance to run the medium chem lasers, but I heard good things about them. Ran medium lasers. Definitely ran medium laser short burst. They were great weapons. And ran some medium pulse lasers and large pulse lasers for sure. Of course, for LRMs, I had LRM-5, LRM-10s. I think I had some LRM-20s. I didn't like the stream so much, especially for their SRMs. The stream so much when you're on fast mechs and you're kind of flying around and you're aiming to get those stream weapons on there. It just didn't work out. Some of them would miss. I like the regular SRMs with Artemis because they all hit the target at once, and they do a lot of damage and they're very fun. I never got a chance to run the Archer Agincourt. I've seen builds with that with like 6 SRM-4s, and that looked like it was a beast. It never made it into my lance during that mid-game before I moved directly into heavies and assaults. Didn't run too many lights after I got the Vulcans. Didn't see a need to run any locusts or anything like that. They're paper thin with armor. Besides running the Centurion early on, I think I only ran it for the couple of missions we needed it. The Night Star as a reward for that campaign quest was very good. I ran it once just to see how it would be with 2 AC-20s. It's pretty much a beast. It can destroy everything. The Annihilator, I put it in my lance. My AI pilots were running it, but it's so slow at 32 kph that half the maps when you're in a Atlas at 48, you outrun that thing and you gotta wait for him to catch up. So unless you're running like 4 of these or other mechs that run that slow, I just didn't find a use to put him back into the lance after that, especially since we had this Diner Scout lance. I had this AWS HT, the Awesome. It has 2 PPCs and 2 LRM-20s. It does a lot of damage for heavy. It is a heavy, right? It's an 80-tonner. Yeah. Right outside that all in cold storage. But by far, yeah, my favorite mech was a MAD 4A with the 3 PPCs. That pinpoint damage, 3 or 4 shots on a center torso of a mech, and it's going to be destroyed. And then once we got all tier 5 PPCs, it was just a beast. I think I played that one the most out of all the assaults. But besides that, I really enjoyed this campaign. I'll probably come back and do it again, maybe get some mods on a different campaign. But for now, I think I'm going to go with a different game. I'm going to start up maybe, I don't know, I got a couple of games that I can start up that I've been wanting to play. And then I know New World's coming out with their game at the end of October, I believe. Somewhere around October. So I'll probably be playing that a little bit as well. But with that, thank you guys for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed watching this campaign. For those that keep watching. Until the next time, I will be back again with a different game, and we'll keep going. So thank you for watching. Happy mech hunting, and I'll see you next time.